What up, SNA assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and welcome to the Red Kingdom. Hey guys, yet again, they did it once again on a primetime game. Judging by what I'm wearing right now, they did it, and uh, and I got some good news and bad news because the good news is you're looking at the good news, but the bad news is they just got too comfortable with their kicking team, and I'm gonna have to put them back in the doghouse, like for them doing it way too much in a more frustrating and also a little bit of a I'll say not to sound disrespectful to my team, but they should have played better, as they should have. But I cannot complain as long as they can stay number one and stay on top. That's all what matters. And they got their 9th straight title as the West Division, which I want to give a huge round of applause and a congrats to my team, them Chiefs. But they took on the Los Angeles Chargers and they remain undefeated. They're like the Detroit Lions of the AFC division. But I did exactly what Detroit did to Green Bay, but we're gonna get into that right here and just right here in just 1 second because we're gonna start things off with the Chiefs. Get the ball kicked right back right to them. That's where they showed a little hype video. That's where then we got a hype video about the Chiefs, there's some that might be tired of the Chiefs keep winning, but there's nobody that's stepping up and proving the Chiefs wrong, which that's absolutely true. I totally agree on to that. But it's where we got we got things started off with I believe the Chiefs got the ball kicked. They got the ball. This is where the goes. They still had some struggles from the last couple weeks. They have, but don't barely get every one touchdown every once in a while. But that's where they threw it to Travis Kelce on the next play, which he got a gain of 12, dozen. And this is where then they passed enemy territory. This is where they're about to score on this drive, and I was getting extra excited, to see if they can actually do it. But unfortunately, it was not exactly how I expected it to be. Even though they were gaining yardage, and I cannot complain about that. Is where Patrick Mahomes passed it to Xavier Worthy after that. He got a gain of 7. That's where it was, I believe, was 2nd and 3, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. That's where he passed it to, what's his name, it was the Pacheco, which he got the first down gain, with a gain of 3, if I'm mistaken. Is where then they ended up. I know he only got a couple and 2.5, making it 3rd and inches. This is where we got. This is where then they go for a running play of some sort, like fake pass, and then this is where then this is where Pacheco got the yardage and a couple even more. This is where it was 1st and 10. This is where then we got Patrick Mahomes and going for a throw, launching it to Travis Kelce. This would have gotten the first touchdown. They would probably got the first touchdown. They probably would have gotten a better game if he's successful to it to Travis Kelce. But he ends up getting stopped by defense. Which the safety did covered him and make sure he did not get the touchdown. Where Deion Henley grabbing on to Travis Kelce's right arm, the struggle catching it with one hand is where we got Patrick Mahomes. Then move on to the next play, and at the 27-yard line, he then throw it to Baylor Cup, the fullback. He threw it to the fullback, but he dropped it. He tried to recovered it when it bounced right back in his hand. But you cannot do that, unfortunately, when it comes to a forward pass. And that was, and it was an incomplete pass. Is where then. And then it was the rookie fullback. This is where they pulled him out. This is where then they put the other receiver back in play. This is where we got Pat Mahomes. All right, 180, 187, 186, down to hiking. This is where then Mahomes snaps, go for a throw. This is where he gets this is where he got under pressure. This is where he did once you try to go forward, try to run for it. This is where it ends up getting sacked. This is where it did it was by none other than Khalil Mack. Like it couldn't get any worse. Like with the best linebacker got to the number one best NFL quarterback right now in the football league. But that's where they had no choice but to kick a field goal because they lost like about a few on the play. This is where they end up leading the game at 3-0, and that's where then they eventually then kick it right to what's to and it's kicking it to the Chargers is where they try to have a chance to score, but at this time it was not exactly in their favor. This is where we got Justin Herbert then was in position after they got a touchback. This is where we got the fullback and the right side was in motion. This is where then we got Herbert's then passed it to Edwards, but he ends up getting slammed right to the side. This is where it was Leo Chanel that was there for the stop, and that was I think it was a loss of a yard if I'm mistaken, like because he pushed him back because he didn't got a chance to cross the line of scrimmage. Actually, it was a 2-yard loss that he lost on that play. This is where it was 2nd and 12. This is where Justin Herbert's trying to go for a throw. This is where he ends up getting sacked by Wharton. Yeah, that's what his name is. It was Sean Wharton, Sean Wharton that came in and sacked the quarterback of the Chargers. Is where they got pushed back even more loss of yards, probably like a loss of maybe 3, maybe 4, perhaps. I'm trying to think what was exactly it was. I think it was a loss. It was a loss of another, like 4. Yeah, it was a loss of 4. It was 3rd and 16, like if it's Stone Cold Steve Austin's number. That's where we got Herbert snap the ball, then try to go for a throw right in the middle of the field. That's where it ends up. It ended up being Johnston. It was Quentin Johnston, the full name of this wide receiver that was keep catching it every night. That's why I thought I was starting to think like, don't tell me that they're gonna beat the Chiefs like out of nowhere in the last minute, all thanks to this guy. Luckily, like that was not so. It's where he got a first down, but it's where it was an unnecessary roughness penalty on the defense, which I believe it was most specifically on what's his name? Nick Bolton, if I'm not mistaken, is where he gained an extra 15 yards on the play, but then passing enemy territory right at the 40. That's where then we got Justin Herbert's passed it to the Dale, the other running back, but he only got like a gain of 7, but it ended up getting pushed back because it was a holding penalty on Zion Johnson, the left guard offensive lineman, which there was 2nd and I'll say 20. Where that's at the Dale. I mean, just like I'm not talking about the singer. This is where they pulled Phillip Rivers by passing it to the running back. Running back pass to the quarterback routine. To throw it right into the receiver. Johnston nearly caught the ball, but it ended up being an incomplete pass. All thanks to the Chiefs corner McDuffie that came in and blocked the play. This is where we got That's where we got Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, was y'all go defense. Is where then there was I mean, I believe it was on the next play. It was too many players on the field. Like when it was, I believe was when they already did a rushing play, but it ended up being a declining penalty, like because they're already like not like or was it an illegal formation or some kind of penalty, like on the receiver, on one receiver? Yeah, that's where I got penalized on, but it was declined because they only got like a gain of I'll say 4 yards. And even if they did decide to go for the decided to go for the what's that called? Go for the play, still try to go for a penalty, like for 10 yards, they'll only be 2nd and 30. So they were trying to humiliate him too much, and they already were ahead, like with them being a 3rd down. So they decided to settle with 3rd down and then along. This where we got Justin Herbert try to go for a run, but he was not going to get there. He only got like a gain of probably maybe a gain of 6, maybe no, it wasn't 6. It was a gain of 7. Yeah. a 7-yard run. He ran it for like a good 7. This is where he ends up getting stopped though by Chiefs defense. I was like, I give praise to the defense, like for preventing them from getting in the end zone, but all the way from the first half. Like, yeah, I gotta give him kudos. But this is where we got the return man catch the ball on the Chiefs. He ran it for like a good dozen yards, like even though it's not much, but at least he kept them away from the end zone. So though they won't get an easy like defensive touchdown or a safety pushing the Chiefs back right back into their backfield. Like, but moving on, we got let's see, we got the Chiefs started right around the. I'm not sure if it was in the teens or in the 20s. I think it was right at I'll say maybe 16 or 17. But Patrick passed it to Kareem, which he got a gain of I'll say like about maybe 4 or 5 yards at the 20 or 21. Which I'd say about 4 yards because they're at the 16 where they start at, but they got into the 20. He fake passed it to Kareem Hunt, but he ended up throwing it to him anyway. That was the impressive play with him passing at the 33, getting the gain of 13 yards on the play. They got the I'll say they got the 5 and an extra 8 yards. Yeah, they got again extra yards. This is where the Chiefs were looking confident that they were going to be scoring like more than what they just did, but which that's something I'm gonna get into right now because it's kind of embarrassing. But anyways, let's continue like with Patrick Mahomes. Like there was like 180, 181, 189, 191, 197. Hike this where then he did step back, passed it to DeAndre Hopkins, which he only got like a gain of 6. Which was probably like 2nd and 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is where the Patrick was like 180, like he always says, and this is where he fake passed to Kareem Hunt. This is where he looked straight ahead, looking to the right, but he ends up trying to throw it to Kareem. But this is where Kareem Hunt stepped back way too early, and it's where he was under pressure. He threw it tried right into Hunt's neighborhood, but he only missed him by down the street, like down the dead end, like where Kareem Hunt was located at. But this is where we got Patrick Mahomes is like, all right, no matter, like, all right, I'm going to the next, like, well, let's see what's up, like 185, 186, 7, a hike, and unfortunately, this where then there was another incomplete pass because there was another under pressure. They ended up having to kick the ball, like these guys are Super Bowl champions and they're playing like this, like why? I understand what's making a play like this. It just doesn't make no sense. Like, but luckily they end up kicking it right to the Chargers, like 2 or maybe 1, like so they can start right there, if I'm not mistaken. Which I would assume that they'll probably get a 2-point safety, making this 5-0, and they can worry about making a touchdown, which that'll make it 12-0. But unfortunately, that obviously did not happen for those that watched, and as much as I wish that happened, like it was probably not going to be happening anyway. So there's no point to looking back in that way, like especially what was the outcome. But we're going to get into that. But this is where we got Herbert then came and snapped the ball right in the end zone. That's where I tried to pass to Johnston, but this is where McDuffie was there for a guard. McDuffie's been nailing it on to Johnston. Probably like maybe I'll say like 8 out of 10 onto Johnston. But this is where we got. But that's where Herbert was a little banged up, like after when he tried to go for the run from the last drive. That's where he gets it patched up. That's where we got the Herbertson snapped the ball, passed it to it was to DJ Chaku or something like that. But that's where then he got a first. Actually, it was dropped by an inch. He fell down by an inch. This is where he ends up going for a quarterback sneak, making this a first down. This is where then we got it was Justin Herbert's. Then they passed it to who was it? The Palmer, yeah, the other receiver. This is where luckily the Chiefs stopped him. It was who was it? It was what was it? It was It was number 21. I was seeing who number 21 is, but I just cannot find his name. But it's where he stopped him right into the, I'll say, the 48, if I'm that's where Herbertson passed it to Edwards, but you probably got a gain of 3. Like this was like 2nd and 7 is where then we got them regrouping again, like into the huddle. This is where then he passed it. This is where he fake passed it to but that's where we got. But that's where we got. What's his name? What's his name? Herbert. Like Herbert fake passed it to what's his name? Fake passed it to Edwards. But he ends up throwing it to what's his name? To Johnston, Quentin Johnston. But this is where I get the ball stripped by Chiefs defense. This is where they knew he jump down and try to get it. But unfortunately, it was Johnston managed to or. No, it was a lineman that jumped onto it. This where, but they still ended up losing about 3 yards after this setback. Is where it was at back like at 10 at third down though. This time is where it was 3rd and 10. Like if it was an incomplete pass, it's where they. But it's where the Chargers ended up calling for a timeout with 52 seconds to the spare from the first quarter. That's where then. That's where then Justin Herbert's then trying to look into the other play with his coach, like see like what is exactly like on the what's going to help him get the 3rd down conversion, like which I like did he got in like I'm trying to remember like he set the ball. I think I think unfortunately, like he, for him, like he did, but unfortunately to him, he didn't get the 1st down. I mean, he did like he threw it to an intended receiver, the tight end. It was six. It was the tight end number 80. It's Rieger, yeah, it's Rieger, the tight end Rieger, number 89. But he ends up getting stopped by Chiefs defense. That's where they only got shy of a 6. That's where it was 4th and 4. That's where it was inside the 10, like for right at that corner. But that's where I that's where then the Chiefs started there, like, yeah, with still being 3-0 on the score. And this is where we got Patrick Mahomes to try to go for a quick throw to Xavier Worthy, which was a pretty decent throw. Which it was first. I'm not first. He only got like a gain of 6 or 5, if I'm mistaken. Which that's when the clock ended because even if he landed out of bounds in the first quarter, like it's still gonna be running unless it's the second quarter or the fourth quarter because that's like the end of the first half and second half. But yeah, on the what's that called the final the end of the first quarter was 3-0, like Chiefs leading against the Los Angeles Chargers, and I was like, yeah, this is about to be a really good game. Like they're probably gonna be scoring at the halftime and then finishing up at the third quarter, and maybe score a few on the fourth quarter, but. That's not what exactly how they did it, like at least in touchdown wise. But we'll get into that like onto the next quarter, which is the second one, like with where Patrick Mahomes then that's where Patrick Mahomes then try to go for another play. This is where he ends up trying to go for a run, which he roughly got like a gain of probably. Oh, they know he got the run for a 1st down, like from the wherever Worthy Nugget, he got the difference maker. This is where try to throw it to Pacheco, but he roughly probably got like about 2 yards, if I'm mistaken, which it was making it 2nd and 8. This is where he passed it to Noah Gray, which he got like probably a gain of say maybe 4, yeah, gain of 4. He got 4 yards where we got Patrick Mahomes. Then like, all right, 179, 180. I said, how this where Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, I thought slapping my face in the shame. But this was Joey Bo. That's what Joey Boza. That's what thinking like, is it Joe or John? It's Joey. I was so close, but yeah, it was Joey Bozo, like that stacked poor Patrick Mahomes. That's where they ended up having to kick it, like because they were not passing me territory to take the chance of going for it. That's where they or even like be in field goal range. They end up punting it for double reason. But that's where we got the return man on the Chargers. As soon as he caught the ball, he ends up dropping it before the Chiefs special teams like he was there, but luckily he recovered before they jumped right on top of him. Is where it was Darius Davis, if I'm not mistaken, the wide receiver on the Chargers. Like I believe the third was receiver like on the Chargers, but yeah, he nearly cost the Chargers a, a game changing what they call a game changing moment, I guess you could say, with them could easily could just make a comeback and lead the game, but that did not happen obviously. But let's move on and let's this is where we got this is where we got Justin Herbert's pass it to Edwards, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was like Edwards. Amazon, yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to get to the boring parts, and we're gonna talk about like they didn't got really in the first down. Is where we got the Chiefs, where that's where we got the Chiefs. Then we got the eventually got the ball punted right back to them. That's where then we got them getting. It was the what was it like a false start penalty? That's where they had to get pushed back first and 15, like right at the I'll say maybe the 14-yard line actually. That's where he passed to Noah Gray, which he got like a gain of 6, making it like a gain of I'll say 6, if gain of 6, which I'll say 2nd and 9. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry for the redundant double quoting, but this is where we got Patrick Mahomes. Then was like, all right, 187, 188, 192, and that's where you threw it right onto Kelsey, which he got like a gain of maybe 4, if I'm not mistaken. Like this is where no, it was 5 actually. It was third and what the I think game of 5. It was a gain of 4. I was right, yeah, because it was 2nd and 9, not 2nd and 10. This is where it was a gain of 4, 3rd and 5. This is where we got Pat. This is where the Pat moved up, like no huddle, like hike. This is where he passed it to Worthy, which he was right. He was just like a dozen yards away from the end zone for a touchdown, like Xavier Worthy, which I was getting very angry like that he didn't actually got. This is where he ends up kicking the second field goal of the game. This is where there was 6-0 after that, but this is where we got the ball kicked. This is where we got the ball was kicked right back to Los Angeles. This is where we got Justin Herbert. All right, 183, 187, 189. Hiking is where he passed it to Gus Edwards, but he only got a gain of 4, like at 2nd and 6, if I'm mistaken. Is where he tried to throw it to his this is where we got what's his name? Herbert threw it to his fullback Tucker, but this is where he gets stopped by what's his name, by Joshua Williams, or one of our corners. Like this is where like he made sure not that he does not pass that line. Like this is where they showed. This is where they showed like the offensive lineman, like one of the linemen, which I believe his name is Joe Alt, yeah, but which he's what's that offensive lineman guard, and he's number 97. I mean not number 97, number 76 if I'm mistaken. And y'all will not believe what was explained here on the Sunday game, like with his you will not believe like and who's his father used to play for. Like it was none other than the Kansas City Chiefs. Like like the team that he's playing against tonight. Like his father used to have been an offensive guard for the Chiefs. Like and you will not believe what number he was. He happened to be number 76, which I was like they had to purposely like made him, that number. Which his father's name was John Alt, which some of y'all hardcore Chiefs fans probably know exactly who I'm talking about. But that's where he was in attendance on tonight's Sunday night game. I'm like, dog, lucky suckers. Like, maybe, obviously he's a former football player. He's a current football player, so he's playing the game while his parents are watching. That's because they can afford it. Because those tickets are high, but still, like, they can afford it. But this is where we got. But anyway, back to the game. We got Justin Herbert end up throwing it right onto what's his name to the Dale, the other running back, but he ends up getting stopped by the Chiefs defense with a knocking him down. And it was a 3-and-out, like onto the Chargers, back to back to back. Like the Chiefs' future opportunity of winning the Super Bowl is where we got. That's where they end up having to punt the ball right back to them back-to-back Super Bowl champ Chiefs, or the back-to-back Super Bowl Chiefs, I should say. That's the better term to use. But it's where we got Patrick Mahomes got back in Patrick Mahomes got into the game. That's where we got. That's where they did a group huddle. That's where we got. What happened next? It was Here's where Patrick Mahomes like, all right, 192, 199, 202 hike, and this is where he passed it to Pacheco, which he only got like a gain of 2, with Christian Fulton was there to stop him. This is where this is where we got an offside penalty from Joey Boza, like which could possibly be the brother or the brother or cousin of Nicholas Boza, like that's his real name. But anyway, that's where we got. Because he also because for 2 reasons, like, or maybe 3 reasons. One, the last names, obviously, and secondly, they happen to be playing on a California team, and third, both playing on California teams respectively, except the Chargers, AFC, and the 49ers or the NFC. Yeah, and third of all, like because they happen to have the exact same number and the jersey number and the position as the defensive end. But anyways, this is where we got. But let's get back into the next play. This is where we got Patrick Mahomes quickly throws it to the DeAndre Hopkins, which he only got like a gain of probably. They were 2nd and 9, which because they only got 1 yard gain by Pacheco. He got a gain of 7 on that play. That's 2 yards shy from a first. Is where Patrick Mahomes like, no matter. All right, okay, 189, 187, 196. And I said Hopkins is where they're throwing it downfield. It's where they're trying to go to Hopkins, but it's where they were holding on to him. But this is where the referee said it was an uncatchable ball with no flag, no pass interference. With them explaining that is where Andy Reid was very angry. This is why I started getting angry too. I'm like why did I call that? Like, y'all need to start doing y'all's darn jobs. Well, I didn't say darn, but y'all get the point. That's where I thought Andy Reid was going to go for a challenge. I was like, yeah, throw the red flag, but this is where he did not want to risk of losing the timeout, because what if they get the ball back and they need an extra timeout? So that was understandable why he didn't go ahead and challenge the play. But he was very angry, frustrated, probably double times more than I was. But anyways, where we got we got the Chiefs to kick the punt right back to the Chargers, needless to say, because it was 4th down. Like, this is where then we got This is where we got the Chargers that ended up like trying to go scoring, but still, unfortunately for the Los Angeles team, they just cannot score. Like even if it was if their life was depending on this in this situation, at least not at this time, they were not scoring to put their lives on the line, which that's very horrible. Like for them to wait until like that to put their lives on the line in order to get a point. Well, metaphorically speaking, but that's where we got Palmer trying to get the ball, Joshua Palmer to be the exact name that Justin Herbert was trying to throw it to. But that's where it gets denied by the Chiefs corner, which I would say, who was it? I think it was Justin Reed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he got covered by Justin Reed, the best safety in the NFL. You gotta say, and also kicker, I guess you say, like one of one of the other understudy kickers. This is where we got Justin Herbert step right back. It's where he was barely escaping. It's where he threw it to what's his name to Mike. Quentin Johnston. Like this is where it ended up getting pushed back. This is where because it was a holding penalty. This is where it was a 10-yard penalty of a replay third down play. It's where once they did the explaining what was the flag on. This is where we show Justin Herbert's in a very unfortunate predicament. After taking a hit from Nick Bosa from the Chiefs, with him just running right into him, going I'll say head to the legs and midsection, I guess you could say, with most of his legs that were having issues with him getting back up. With getting the wind knocked right out of him, but luckily he wasn't out for long, so that was a blessing. Even though he was playing against my team, them Chiefs, I still don't want to wish death upon him because what's the name? Next to the Chiefs, the Chargers are one of my favorite teams. Next to Baltimore, Pittsburgh. What's the other one? What's the other good team? Oh yeah, the Houston Texans. I'll say, I got to do like those teams, and even Philadelphia, of course, with Jalen Hurts and Detroit doing really good. Even though I'm not the most, they're not facing them at the Super Bowl. But anyway, that's a different conversation for a different day. But yeah, this is where we got the backup quarterback Taylor Heineke, yeah, I think that's what his name is. This is where he only played one play, which was probably for the best, because he barely even ran the ball. Once they got Justin Herbert, got picked right up and then got sent right to the back, but they all confirmed the results. It's nothing more than just a bang up bruise onto his left leg, with him just taking a very unfortunate hit, which luckily did not. There's no broken bones or torn anywhere in the knees or ankles or not an Achilles, not in the meniscus, not an A or MCL. It's none of those. But I swear, then we got we got Heineke only got a gain of how many yards? Probably 5, 6. I'll say. It was third and 20, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll say he barely got a gain of, I'll say 12, on the run. Which they had to go punting it right to the Chiefs, which they ended up doing. So this is where then they, after they got back from the picture-in-picture break, this is where we got Patrick Mahomes and tried to throw it to, who was it? He tried to throw it to, it was onto Travis Kelce. No, it was no Gray, but it was Henley that came in and stopped him. It's where Chris Morgan, the safety? Yeah, it was the other safety was nearly sacked Patrick Mahomes, putting him under pressure and then throwing it away right to Noah Gray, but unfortunately no complete passes. But it's where Patrick Mahomes 187, 197 hike. This is where he passed it to Xavier Worthy, which he got a gain of a few, about maybe a gain of 4, making it 3rd and 6. No, 3rd and 7, only just a gain of 3. I guess you could say it is where. This is where you got Patrick Mahomes going for a snap. This is where he tried to go for a throw, be under pressure. This is where it was Xavier Worthy that threw to, even though it was under pressure. Worthy got the ball, got a gain of an extra 2 yards, making him probably a 9 reception play, a 9-yard reception. This is where we got this is where we got, what's his name? Kareem Hunt went for a run, which he barely probably got a gain of, I'll say, 7 on the play, making it 2nd and 3. This is where things. This is where they were just getting closer and closer. This is where right to get more yardage, before the break. This is where it was the 2-minute warning, which it was still 6-0 at the time. This is where but once after their break, they started gaining more yards, and next thing you know, you will not believe what ended up happening next, which I'm not gonna get into until in just a second. But this is where that's where he passed it to, what was it? The Noah Gray. That's where he got That's where he got the 47-yard line, right past enemy territory, on this play. That's where he got. That's where he tried to pass it to what's his name, This is where then what's his name? Juju Smith-Schuster was trying to catch the ball. Like this is where Patrick Mahomes tried to throw it to the left side. This is where Fulton, the corner, pushes him right into out of bounds. Where before the ball was even there, this is where it was a pass interference play. That's where but at first they pointed out that it was trying to pull on him, dragging him down, but he ends up pulling himself down. That's where the commentators hilariously refer this as a wrestling match. I'm like, funny coincidence, because a certain man in a mask and cape always talks about professional wrestling as much as he likes talking about football, including these guys, them Chiefs. But this is where then we got referees explain what it was. Finally, they starting to talk about pass interference. This is where we got Patrick Mahomes after that play. He threw it to Travis Kelce right in the middle, catches the ball right into the middle. Probably a gain of 13, like an extra 3, right at the 20. This is where Patrick Mahomes then go right onto what's his name? The Noah Gray, which he got like a gain of probably about 8, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, gain of 8. This is where then he passed it to P. Rhyme, which he knew he dropped the ball, but he managed to get it right back in possession and ran it for a good about a good 3, if I'm mistaken. Getting an extra yard on the play. They were first and goal. I was like, yeah, they're about to score. Even if it takes them at least a try or 2, they're getting in the end zone, because I just cannot see what other reason why they cannot get in. But it's where we got a timeout by the Chiefs, probably Andy Reid's idea of my smart call, from the Chiefs, where we got Patrick Mahomes all right, 180, 181, 187, 180, 97, 197. It's where he fake passed it to Kareem Hunt, throws it to DeAndre Hopkins right into the right side, catches it, and he falls right in the end zone for a touchdown. Yes, they're finally starting to score, and this is where it was 13-3 after this. I'm like, it's about time. I thought they would never score a touchdown on this play, but let's just say it wasn't too exciting after this touchdown that he got right here, with Mahomes throwing it to one of the number 1 best wide receivers in the top 10 list of best receivers in the NFL right now. But still, it got him somewhere, to maintain his lead, even if it's only barely by a touchdown and 2 field goals. But yeah, I guess it's better than nothing at all, and I have nothing to complain about. But let's move on to the next slide with the Chiefs kicking it right back to the Chargers. This is where the Chargers trying to go for a couple of plays, with barely 2 timeouts and 42 seconds left on the clock, with Justin Herbert snapping the ball. That's where then he all right, 182, 183 hike is where then he throws it right onto Johnston, which he barely got 6 yards on the play. That's where the Trent McDuffie, I believe, stopped him. That's where then we got. That's where what else happened? It was that's where it was just second and 4. After they got time, they did the timeout. That's where Justin Herbert then passed it to, who was it? To Palmer, but he barely got 2 yards, or maybe 3. Actually, it was 3, because it was 3rd and 1 after that. Is where we got Herbert's then passed it to Edwards, where he got first down and more. Obviously, this is where he tried to get in position to try to get into field goal range. But even for that, they still just cannot get up into that point. And that's where we saw. That's where we got Justin Herbert to try to go one more play, even though without what they call a timeout. This is where they had 11 seconds to try his luck of getting to field goal range with them stopping it out of bounds, or even going up, or even getting in the end zone. But this is where it was an overthrown play, because he was getting under pressure by Chiefs defense. One thing they were doing good was absolutely just shredding Herbert's, when it comes to him being comfortable of catching the ball. And I believe the fans were a big difference as well, because they were cheering on the Chiefs, which that was probably the help why they did win this game. This is where we got. That's where they try to go. That's where they try to throw it to their tight end, I believe it was Disley, yeah, I believe that's his name is. It's where after that the timer just keep going and going, and this is where it stopped right here at halftime with the reporter and interviewing Andy Reid about the games, and yeah, and some of y'all probably say like, what did Andy Reid have to say? Well, I'm not sure if I should bring this up, even though like I do bring up interviews on wrestling shows. But I'm gonna start doing that like when like on the next videos, like I'll say with like on the next game, which is going to be the Green Bay Packers against the Seattle Seahawks, which I think they're going to be in Seattle for that game. Like, but either way, it's going to be Jordan Love against Geno Smith, which that sounds very interesting to talk about, especially on a wonderful Sunday like today or tonight, I should say. But I'm afraid that it's the evening time, not the daytime. But yeah, this is where they talk about the roundups, like who won their respective matches, with the Philadelphia beating or squashing, I should rephrase it, against the Panthers, and then they surprisingly we got the Los Angeles Rams defeating the it's the Buffalo Bills, even though they were in SoFi Stadium. But still, like, I was not expecting this on my bingo card for 2024, like or anything any time like with the Rams playing like this. But that's where they show Tampa Bay. That's where we go. Show Minnesota beating what's their names? Atlanta. We also saw that's where we saw Minnesota beating Atlanta. That's where we saw Tampa Bay beating the Raiders. That's where we got Pittsburgh beating the Cleveland Browns. That's where we got Philadelphia beating who was it? The Carolina Panthers. That's where we saw what they call. That's where we saw the San Francisco 49ers beating the Chicago Bears, still barely hanging on to trying to get a spot in the playoffs. But even if they do, like, and they just keep winning straight time, they're going to probably barely going to make it to the number 7 wild card spot, because there's no other way that they can get in more further. Like with judging by how they've been playing for the past, for the past probably the vast majority of the season, like including losing to my boys, them Chiefs, on that back in, what was it, in October, was it? Yeah. But yeah, I still cannot believe. I think that's probably going to be like next. I'd say, in my opinion, like next to the Chiefs defeating the Chiefs, defeating the Chargers. I'll say the second the highlights goes to the Buffalo Bills losing to the Los Angeles Rams. Like I was not expecting this whatsoever on my bingo card. I thought like we would see that like they probably would win this game. Like, but I'm still kind of thinking like maybe it was a good idea that they did it, because like that still gives the Chiefs like more opportunity to stay in the lead, like regardless. But I don't think they needed Buffalo to lose to stay in the lead, like with them like tonight's game. But I'm just saying, because like it's better to be safe than sorry though. Like the hope that the other team does win, but I don't know like why they did lose, even though they were so close to beating the Rams. But they would come back until the last minute. Like even though they were like a field goal away from tying or beating them, but the Rams end up getting another touchdown. But I think they tried to go for 2 or something like that, but they failed to do so, which I understand why they wanted to do. Or maybe they tried to go for a field goal. I'm not sure what it was, but the PAT extra points did not go well. And we got the what's it called? We got the Buffalo Bills going for a touchdown, like when it was 35-44, but they only got like that, and then they try to go for an onside kick, but the Rams end up getting the ball. This is where the Rams probably does win. But moving on, we got the next I'll say the next plays where like after they after the halftime game report was done is where we got the Chargers came out with the Chiefs did so too. This is where the Chiefs had to kick it to the Chargers because it was only fair because the Chiefs won the coin toss in the beginning. But it's where he only got the 20. This return man, which was Darius Davis, the receiver, which I'm surprised how I remember his name. But yeah, he ran it for like a good 21 yards at the 21. That's where we got That's where we got Herberts that snaps the ball. This is where it's like 118. I said 123. Hike. This is where he passes to Edwards. Barely got like a gain of 4 on the play, making it 2nd and 6, if I'm not mistaken. Or 2nd and 7, 3 yards is where we got Herberts and go for a catch. Is where we got Palmer catching the ball, but this is where we got. But it was O'Connell that brought him down. Is where he barely got an inch. Is where Herberts then ran it in, even though the referees had to make sure if it's a quarterback sneak success, which it was, but you got the inch yard. That's where then they move on to the next play. That's where we got Herberts then passed it to, what was the running back? Dale, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Edwards? It was Dale. Yeah, he passed to Dale, which he only got like a gain of maybe 4. 4 on the play, which was no, it was 8. I'm tripping like double times, making it 8, like 2nd and 2. So then he passed it to Dale again, which he ends up running again. But that's why we got a flag on the play. But it was a defensive hold on Donati, like the defensive tackle that was holding on to one of the linemen's shirt, like his collar onto his jersey. That's where then we got. That's where then we got. Let's see. He got the Chargers to Justin Herbert's passed it to what's his name to the Dale. That's where he ends up only got like I'd say 2 yards, if I'm mistaken, on this play. This is where they passed enemy territory. This is where, oh no, it was a yard. This is where he passed it to Darius Davis, which he got like a gain of probably 7, if I'm mistaken, making it 3rd and 2. Yeah, this is where you got a gain of 7. This is where we got, what's his name? This is where we got, what's his name? Who was it that caught the ball? It was Darius. It was yet again Darius. What's his name? It was Darius Davis, and yep, you guessed it. Like Justin Herbert did it again. Like somebody better call Britney Spears. But anyway, this is where it was 4th down. Thanks to Justin Reed that came in and stopped him. This is where they looked like they're about to just go for it anyways, which I thought they were completely insane, probably more insane than what's his name, Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. This is where. And then they try to go for the play. This is where, but this is where they get. But this is where we got the Chargers called timeout because they were not sure if they could do this. This where, but anyway, I totally forgot to tell you, assassinators. Like at halftime, it was 0-13, like it is right now. Like and the Chiefs scored 10 points on the second quarter. Like Chargers. But anyway, this is where we got. But this is where we saw. Let's see what happened next. It was Chris Jones was trying to steal. Think of what kind of method to get to Herbert and sack him, like his fellow defensive men, like have been doing for the last couple of times. But that's where we got what's his name? It was in Mostyn. This where he fake passed it to Dale. This where he got sacked. But that's where Palmer's end up catching it right at the 24. But Colossus nearly sacked him though, like with him going under pressure and just knocking him right down to the turf. But that's where he ended up passing it to what's his name? He ended up passing it to what's his name? Who was it? Well, I said it was Palmer, which it was a gain of 25. That's where we got. Or Justin Herbert snapped the ball like 173, 175, 179, like hike. But that's where he tried to pass it to Darius Davis. But Stone Cold Jones, this random over Stone Cold Chris Jones, just came out of nowhere. Once he fed, there was a fake pass to what's his name to Dale. That's where he tried to go for like a flea flicker play. But this is where Chris Jones knocks him instead. He was like, I'm not falling for this nonsense, and this is where he knocks him down. They might have lost a yard, no, just a yard, 6 yards actually. We go 2nd and 16. That's where then we got Chris Jones nearly sacked Herbert. That's where he ends up passing it to the Smart, I believe that's what the name is. The Stone Smart, that's what his name is. Stone Smart, like the tight end number 84 of the Chargers, which he made a big difference on the play. It's where they ended up getting the red zone, with them passing it to Edwards, which he rolled right in the ring. I mean, right into the in the red zone. Like, and it's where but they still were having trouble getting in. Like first play, like with Herbert's, like with him snapping the ball, and then it's where it ended up passing it to no, I must have made a mistake. It was actually like no, he passed it to Edwards. Like yeah, he passed it to Edwards is where he that's where it ended up getting in the end zone for a touchdown. Is where it was 7 to the 4 or 13. I'm like, okay. It's where it ended up passing it to Edwards is where he got the touchdown. Is where they okay, like maybe they'll be going maybe